References from his social media pages. That's his new Twitter bio. He did that one day after both the new coach and the new general manager in Houston said they have no intention of trading him at all. So, Adam Schefter, we have ourselves here a standoff, or as you've described it, a game of chicken. Where does it go from here, Schefty?
Well, it's both. It's a game of chicken. It's a Texas standoff, and we'll see how it unfolds. But again, Deshaun Watson would seem to be dug in and again, is not taking calls from people in the Texans organization. So they can't contact him. He's taking a page from the Khalil Mack playbook in which he didn't return John Gruden's calls before they eventually, months later, decided to trade him. Now, you heard Nick Caserio, the new general manager, on Friday say that they're not going to trade him, and David Culley, the new head coach, say part of the reason he took the job is because he knows that Deshaun Watson will be in Houston. I think at this time, Deshaun Watson would vehemently disagree with that. I think he's prepared to go the distance. The Texans are prepared to go the distance. And so who blinks first? And when do they blink? And what causes them to blink? Deshaun Watson, is he willing to forego all the fine money that would come along with sitting out of mini camps and training camp and preseason games and actual games? Is he willing to do that? We'll see. My sense is he is. Are the Texans willing to move on without him? And here's an organization that obviously has come under a lot of scrutiny, a lot of negative attention. They're going to get plenty more of that as long as this goes on with this issue hovering above the franchise on a daily basis. Can they go and move on without even getting another quarterback, prepare to head into the next season without a guy in Deshaun Watson who seems determined and bound not to play for the Texans again? So, again, you've got all the ingredients to make for a storyline that will fill your show for weeks to come, Greeny. Be thankful. This is going to be manna from heaven for you for each morning.
I have no complaints. I'll tell you that right now. Mike Tannenbaum, let me come to you. So we see Matt Stafford traded over the weekend for 2 first-round picks and a starting quarterback, one who was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. What, if anything, does that suggest about what the Texans could get and the market will be as far as Watson is concerned?
Greeny, to me, it's a minimum of 3 first-round picks and a good player. And again, if we go back to the Jets, who have 4 first-round picks, I'm looking at someone like Quinnen Williams to be part of that package. And Greeny, I think we're at truly a transformational moment in the NFL because we got 5 quarterbacks. We saw it with Stafford. It could be Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, maybe Aaron Rodgers, where this is really a lot more like the NBA model, where these players who are under contract or could be franchised saying, I'm not going to be here anymore. And as Adam alluded to, we saw it with Mack. Last year, we saw it with Jamal Adams and Jalen Ramsey. But with 5 big-time quarterbacks, this could truly be a transformational offseason.
Yeah, they are taking control of situations, all of them in different ways. Dan Orlovsky, what's the most important thing you're thinking as you watch this whole thing play out?
That this weekend, Matthew Stafford went for 2 first-round picks and another first-round pick, essentially, and a starting quarterback on a huge deal. Matthew Stafford is 7 years older than Deshaun Watson. He has 2 years left on his contract. Deshaun Watson has 5 left on his contract, okay? Like, the fact that no teams, or the fact that the Texans don't, 1, realize that he's not going to play for you guys. And then 2, the value of what you have, you better strike now. Like, you better strike before this draft happens. You better try to get 5 first-round picks. That should be what you try and get because you took Deshaun Watson in hopes that he would bring you a championship. That is not going to happen. So now you need to use Deshaun Watson for picks to get other players to bring you a championship. And now's the time to go and do that. I think the reality is this, Greeny. At some point, it's going to come to this. Who's willing to make it uglier? Deshaun Watson in his camp or Houston Texans in this camp? Because the question I ask is this. What's changed in Houston to make Deshaun Watson have any thought of staying?
I don't see it.
If that's right,
I have to go to a break. Hold on, Schefty. I'm so sorry. There's nothing on earth I want to do less than cut you off. But I have to go to a break here. I will come back to it. I promise. We'll find out what it